42 days. Skip this. Hey, YouTube, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another live commentary. This is the live commentary for the 2000 film, the only one I'm doing for now, The Scorpion King. Yes, The Rock's first leading role. That's not a cameo. I wanted to do this because it's been a while since I've done a movie with The Rock, and I wanted to do this film because, Mummy Returns, he's in it for like 5 minutes. And it's horrible CGI. This movie's only 92 minutes, not 2 hours and 5 minutes. The chat is off, so I'm not going to be bothered because I had a very stressful week, guys. Bullshit with my brother. I got a guideline strike on my freaking Facebook. They've removed content from my Facebook. Yeah, people have just not been fair to me this year. But I get to do this, and they can't stop me. So at least YouTube has been a little bit more lenient on me. This starts with a snow mountain. For some reason. Good makeup effects. Chuck Russell directed this movie. He did the Blob remake and The Mask, which I really enjoy. Plus, there's no subtitles in this like the Mummy films, so I appreciate that. I don't need a chat for that. Well, the Babylon movie did fail at the box office, so. This opening is pretty cool. I like that The Rock makes an entrance here. I did see this in the theater when I was 17 because I needed redemption after missing the Mummy Returns opening act with The Rock. So this one I saw with my uncle. It's fun movie. It is PG-13, but it's a lot of fun. The Rock proved that he would be a huge star in Hollywood. And he had to leave Fast and Furious because even now it's not fun anymore. After 8, he was done. Those movies are stupid. I pass on Fast 10. It's going to be a cartoon. Oh, yeah. Look at those eyes. That's a face that could sell a movie. Even when he fails, like with Black Adam, he wasn't the problem with the film, guys. Nice. Nice. Right in the face. And The Rock, even with that wig, it looks good on him. I wanted to do a movie that was short and sweet because I had postponed this movie long enough. I had canceled a couple of podcasts mainly because I've had a lot of stress, guys. I don't want to deal with the internet today. I'm doing this and then I'm done. I'm not doing a podcast tomorrow. I need a day off from the bullshit of the internet. That's why I like being outside because I don't have to deal with the internet. Yep, right in the crotch. Right in the nether regions. And this franchise suffered when The Rock wasn't in it anymore. The second one, didn't care for it. The third one, it had its guilty pleasure. The third and the fourth one, but by the time we got to 5, I'm like, yeah, we don't need anymore. They gave him a name here, Matthias. Mm-hmm. A burning village. We've seen that before. Mm-hmm. Memnon. Not a very memorable villain. It's I think Stephen Brand is the name. It's the main villain here. You also have Kelly Hu, whose birthday is next week, and you have The late Michael Clark Duncan. We miss him. And you have Bernard Hill and Brent Heslov and Peter Facinelli from Twilight is in this movie. There he is. It's a very diverse cast, and it's not forced like today. hmm So there's a black woman. Yeah, there's a lot of a very, very diverse cast indeed. Because back then, people like Chuck Russell cast people based on talent, not their skin color. There we go. There he is. He's dearly missed, man. He was a good kingpin, and I miss him a lot. The acting's pretty good for a movie like this, a sword and sandal genre, and the CGI is way better here than in The Mummy Returns. It's not perfect, but it's way better than that $100 million disaster of a Scorpion King CGI face. Whew, that looked like shit back then, and looks even worse now. And in high definition, looks bad. If you see that movie in 4K, it looks horrible. That's CGI. All the other CG is hit and miss, but that one is one of the worst effects I've ever seen done with a computer. That's why the Rock. That's why the Rock should be a flesh and blood, not CGI. Rubies. And this is when The Rock did one movie a year, not four. Just saying, because back in 2002 he was still wrestling every now and then, but in 2003, but because it wasn't until 2004 that Rock took a long break from the ring and didn't come back until 2012. Well, 2011 to be fair. He rides a camel like a Conan does. It's a real camel too. It's not CG. A lot of the animals are real, except for the bugs and the snake that Cassandra, you know, Kelly Hu's character has. But it doesn't look that bad compared to Mummy Returns. It looks Oscar worthy. hmm I actually bought this on Black Friday many years ago because it's a lot of fun. There's there is a kid in this movie, but he's not in the film that much, so he's not a Kenny. Yeah, he's the comic relief of the movie, but I do like him. He was in other films too. I think he was in a disaster movie. I think he was in Dante's Peak. Yeah, Mm-hmm. So the camel is real. It's a white camel. It's a white camel, not a brown one. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm not doing a podcast tomorrow. It's a holiday. It's Lincoln's birthday. I want to see something on my own. I could review it later. It's a well trained animal, and they could handle the heat. They could not handle. I think camels hibernate. I don't know if they do. I'm not sure, but I've never seen a camel in good sword work too. Nobody talks about how good the fight scenes are here because Chuck Russell he shows people on the camera. Because I saw the Blob, the remake from 1988, and also the Mask. I did a podcast for it last year. It was fun to watch. That was when my life didn't suck as much. Now people in the chat sometimes they just get a little bit overbearing. Sorry, but it's true. I either get spam or I get somebody asking me questions every 2 seconds. That's why I shut off the chat for this one, so I can finally do a podcast with no distractions. I've had enough. I went through enough this week, guys. Next week is Valentine's Day. I want to feel some love, not hate and a bunch of violations, which I don't deserve. Professor Thinbar Calamitous Heal. I'm not even going to share any clips on YouTube. You know why? Because when I do, I'm going to get another copyright infringement. So I'm like, nope. You'll just have to find out for yourself. I'm going to make the clip and not share it. That way, I don't get in trouble. Because Facebook, they blast you for anything nowadays. Everybody's so overly sensitive. They need to get off their high horse and breathe a little. Take a nice freaking walk. Do you some good. Damn robots. There's women in there. 12 minutes into the movie. We don't have to wait an hour to see estrogen. I'm gonna kill you. And no, it's a woman. One of the most gorgeous Asian women I have ever seen. So kiss my fat ass, Gemma Chan. That's a real woman. Mm-hmm. Mm. Look at that face. She is so yummy. Even to this day, I saw her when I was 9 years old. Well, I was 8 years old when I saw Surf's Ninjas, and I was like, wow, who is that? I know she did a couple of films before that, but that was how I was introduced to her. Then I saw X2, this movie, and so on. I thought she was wasted in that Netflix movie that she did years ago, Finding Ohana. That movie was so boring. How do you make a kids movie over 2 hours long? It didn't need to be that long. It could have been 90 minutes like this movie. It's brisk and fast. It doesn't waste time. And I get why Chuck Russell wanted to make this PG-13, so it wasn't overly violent. Yeah, take that, you knockoff Game of Thrones actor. He was not in Game of Thrones. Stephen Brand, let me look him up because the chat's gone. So he's a Scottish actor. I thought he was British. He's he he was in he was in the Teen Wolf TV show. At least Peter Facinelli can act in this. He's from Dundee, Scotland, so he's from the same country as Karen Gillan. He was in Criminal. Yeah, that was awful. You have the Teen Wolf TV show, Hellsing Ultimate, Vikings. Yeah, he did Vikings, not Game of Thrones. Star Wars: The Old Republic, Onslaught, Hawaii Five-O. Yeah, he looks like Sean Pertwee, the guy that played So he's actually Scottish. Yep, you have to kill him right in front of him. Hmm. And she's a sorceress. At least they explain why she has powers. Unlike freaking Cersei in Eternals, where did her powers come from, guys? Tell me. They don't explain it. They never explain it. Here, at least they explain it. Yep, blackout scene. This scene has the women in it. I think. Oh no, wait. This is after. It's after this scene. This is the scene with the ants that try to crawl on his face. Yeah, they did the same scene, the stupid scene in the Lone Ranger movie, which was worse than this. Why was that movie 2.5 hours? It was way too long. And Ant Man is next week, so fire ants. There's Ant Man's, minions, if you will. It's like the ants from Indiana Jones. Yeah, piss. Ugh. He's gone. Why did they bury them in dirt? You know you can dig yourself out of dirt or sand. See, at least this comic relief actually does something in this movie. He's not just there. I like comic reliefs that actually get things done. There's the ants. Yeah, the CG is a little dated, but it's ants, guys. I mean, we saw a lot of ants in the MCU. Hint, hint. Don't worry, I'm not going to get a copyright infringement for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I'm posting that, and there is not a damn thing Facebook can do about it. So, yeah, take that, you freaking Facebook robots. You and your bullshit. Here come the ants. If he burns the ants, not all of them, mind you, but he does get things done. Look, watch. Take that. Yeah, he has to kill them with his chin. Oh my god. Ugh. Those are not tasty. I know. Ants are so numerous because there's a colony of these things. I know because I've seen a bunch of them in my house and outside my house. Whenever you leave food outside, these ants show up. They come in droves. Yeah, there's no cars in this movie. They actually ride on animals, which is a practical thing to do. It doesn't pollute the air, and animals don't judge people. They don't judge people. They smell them if they have a nose, and then they make their decision. They have instincts, not bias. We're about 20 minutes in, and oh yeah, there's the other women in the movie. They're dressed like Indiana Jones at the Temple of Doom. She's beautiful, man. Absolutely yummy. Ugh. Josh's like, I know exactly what you're gonna do. You jerk off to her and Gabrielle Union. You're damn right. I'm attracted. to them. I'm a heterosexual man. I guess people don't know what that means. It means I am attracted to the opposite sex. It's as clear as freaking day, guys. Don't let this haircut fool you. I'm not non-binary. I am into women. Why do you think I saw Wonder Woman in the theater? I got to be in an island of Themyscira with a bunch of women that actually look attractive. They're not a bunch of lesbians living on the same island. No, they're real women. Badass women that have hair. His costumes are really good in this movie. They fit that the period that they're doing it, and they're real. They're not CGI. A turkey leg. You saw mini tigers. Yep, real tigers. It's a tiger, and I think a lion. I think it's a lioness. Because even in the movie Gladiator, they had a real tiger. It wasn't CGI mostly. Oh my God. If Jasmine looked like this in the Aladdin remake, I would have watched it immediately. He's not that bad, Stephen Brand. He has his moments. After seeing these terrible villains in Eternals and some of the Phase 4 villains in the Disney Plus shows, yeah, this is a breath of fresh air. Oh, if she was in my bed, forget it. You wouldn't know. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful dark hair. I love it. I'm sorry. When I touch Asian girls' hair, it sends me into another world, guys. You have no idea. And they're like, you should hate them. You should. They're a disease. No, they're not, guys. They're not. Gamora? You mean the girl from Guardians of the Galaxy? Oh yeah, I forgot that was a real city. It's spelled differently. It's good. It's got two R's and it got an H at the end. Sodom and Gomorrah, I get it. I do like that costume. It's too bad that the Scorpion King didn't have great sequels because it would have been fun to see The Rock in a sequel to this, but no. Instead, we got a Mummy reboot no one asked for, and we got a bunch of direct-to-video ones that they're very hit and miss. Two of them sucked, and two of them were guilty pleasures. Like they're not as good as this, but they have their moments. Victor Webster was decent. Let me get some water. The Rock is just fun to watch, man. He's wearing. Oh, look, he's dressed up. He's dressed up as Black Adam. I need to get some tissue. Hold on. I'll be back. Because, like I said, I've had a long week, guys. Maybe you guys didn't, but I did. And I had a long. There's a woman. Hello, beautiful creature. Mm. That's a cute camel. I like camels with their big lips. I want to touch one. I want to go like. These are cute. They're not. They're harmless. They're not as dangerous as a bull or something like that. Yeah, it's a little bit of Aladdin. If Aladdin was a badass fighter, we saw the parrots. Oh my God, that was Katie Albert. Oh, what a gorgeous one. Yes, Rock, I know you're just as heterosexual as I am. Those are I guess a brothel. I guess yeah. Chuck Russell deserves a nod for this movie because he did a good job. He's still got a better batting average than someone like Guy Ritchie, who I don't like his movies, or J.J. Abrams. He did like two good films. There's the kid. It's a cute kid. He's probably like a man now because this was over 20 years ago. So this kid is probably like in his 30s now. It's a good kid. I hope he's still alive because, so nobody's guaranteed life, but you have to make the most of what you got. It's a gift, man. He took his stash. This movie's so enjoyable. Because after The Mummy Returns, I'm like, please don't let this movie suck. Please don't let this movie be over 2 hours. It's not. It's 92 minutes. It's a brisk pace. And I do like the Jumanji sequels, but I think they're a little too long. I think you could have cut 2 or 3 scenes out of the films, and it would not make a difference. Hello, little boy. And The Rock has kids, so he knows what it's like to deal with a kid. Cool. Clever boy. It is a little bit like Welcome to the Jungle. I think there's a scene where they go to the I think an Arabic country or Middle Eastern country where there's desert and sand. It was pretty good, but the dance scene I didn't care for it. I'm sorry, Josh. I know it's trying to be sexy, but Jack Black is the last person to tell a woman to be sexy. It's just that song just made me cringe. It just reminded me of the Guardians of the Galaxy scene. Oh yeah, this is the old guy. This guy is similar to the guy in Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. He has a long beard. Yeah, he played Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. Even the foreigners in this movie are better actors than Game of Thrones or The Witcher or whatever, because they're acting. They're not being. I'm going to yell all my dialogue. No, you don't need that. I'm not deaf, guys. I can hear just fine. That's one thing I haven't lost this year. Because I swear, when I saw half of these movies on Disney Plus, I'm like, why are you screaming? You don't have to yell. I'm not deaf. Who wrote this movie? Let me see. You have Stephen Sommers, so he did the Mummy films. Not the first two. He didn't direct the third one. Will Osborne and David Hayter. Story by Jonathan Hales and Stephen Sommers. Did a good job with this. I'm glad Sommers didn't direct this one because then it would have been a Binto as Cassandra. It would have been Gemma Chan in her 20s back then or something. I'm like, no, I don't need her, guys. I don't. Sorry. It's a good kid. See, he gave him a ruby. The Rock is not. He's generous. He was one of the first celebrities to get COVID, but yet he survived, just like I did. So that makes us, evenly matched. Catch this. Yeah, that's what he says at the end of the movie. It's pretty badass that they don't use any guns here. I know that Asian guy. He was in Die Hard and Double Dragon and Last Action Hero. He gave him that ruby. He didn't steal it. Yes, in a Middle Eastern country, if you steal, they'll chop off your hand. Remember Aladdin? She was going to chop off her hand just for stealing an apple. Yeah, I don't steal, guys. I buy my stuff. I don't ever steal something because I don't need to. Why? Why take something that doesn't belong to you? I'm not a thief. I earned everything that I got this year. All those DVDs, I bought them. Don't you dare. That's awesome. Before we had Katniss 10 years earlier, we had the Scorpion King. And The Rock really has a lot of charisma in this movie. People forget that he started off low. He didn't start off at the top of the mountain like some people. He went from a cameo in The Mummy Returns to this, his own movie, which was better than The Mummy Returns. Because I'm like, thank God this movie's short. And it had a more appealing cast. Even the foreigners, they have some charisma. This guy makes inventions. Yeah, he's an inventor. I'm not going to talk about Anna Taylor-Joy again until I've seen the Mario movie. Once I see that, I will pass judgment then. But until then, zip it. I'm not going to talk about her or Haley Steinfeld until their movies come out. There he is. He's in the brothel with the women. Hello, you beautiful estrogen-filled creatures. Women of different shades. A black woman. He does the eyebrow here, look. He does the eyebrow. I love that. It's so much fun. It's like when he does the rock bottom in Rundown. The Rundown I'll do it some other time. I'll do it probably in the spring. That movie flopped, and I don't know why. It's a much better movie than Jungle Cruise. That was The Rock's first movie in the jungle, the Rundown. Yet that movie flopped, and Jungle Cruise made over $100 million. Is life fair? No, it's not. Oh my God. Gorgeous brunette film actresses. A gong. Yep, he took all of them. They took all of his weapons. Fight with your fists, Rock. You have those guns right there. Yeah, they don't use guns in this movie because it's a period piece. So they're using swords and daggers and axes and arrows. It's pretty cool. It's like a Zelda game. In Zelda, you're never gonna see Link with a gun. It's just not. It's not that time period. Because Guy Ritchie's King Arthur movie, it was horrendous. I saw it and I was so bored. I'm like, why is there so much CGI in this movie? Oh, look, another nod to Temple of Doom. I'll do those movies, but I'm going to do them in May. Because Dial of Destiny doesn't come out till late June. I have plenty of time. I'm doing really short movies for the month of February and March. Nothing that's 2.5 hours. Sorry, guys. That's cool. It's not a ripoff. It's a nod. Get it? It's not an Asian gong. It's a Middle Eastern gong. Again, good stunt work, just like in the movie I saw yesterday. Oh, this one, she's taking a bath. Yes, flower petals. Yes, please. No, oh man. And look, she comes out of the shower, out of the bath, and with her glowing skin. I saw this in the theater, by the way. Oh my God, I'm in love. I can't feel my face. Don't worry, I'm not having a seizure. The female body should be adored, man. Oh my God, you have the most heavenly body, Kelly who? I'm gonna say Kelly Berglund. They're gonna do this in the Little Mermaid remake. Oh, I know that kid. Wait a minute, I've seen that kid before. Yeah, that Asian kid. I think it was in Phil of the Future. How dare you touch me? I mean, you're gorgeous. I can't keep my eyes off of you. I was 17 years old when I saw this in the theater, and I couldn't move. I saw her come out of that water, and I was like, "Yep, you would act like that too." He's fun. He's a fun character. I wish we had more comic release like this that didn't make me cringe. It's a good actor. I like the actors in this movie. I really do. Even Stephen Brand, he has his moments. He's intimidating, and he doesn't have to overact like Ben Mendelsohn. Ben Mendelsohn thinks screaming is acting. I'm like, no, it's not dramatic. It's really cringe. Kelly Hu, you're just gorgeous. So much minorities, and is not a painful accent. Sorceress. She's female. Trust me. Mm. Even the scene when he touches her face, I'm like, I don't blame you, dude. Yeah, excuse excuse me is for there's a scorpion, yeah. Real scorpion, by the way. They probably took they detoxed it. They probably took the toxins out because those things are dangerous. A black scorpion is very dangerous. It's probably one of the most dangerous non bugs ever. There, I think it's an arachnid, a scorpion. It's some kind of a arthropod or something like that. It's not a bug. They're scary, guys. I've seen them. Ooh. Because, like I said, with the Scorpion King, I would have been fine if it was just one film. I think 5 films was too much. You know, the second one is a prequel, and it was horrible, horrible, guys. 3 and 4, like I said, if you watch them and you're not a fan, I get it. They're guilty pleasures. What time is it? It's 9:43. Yeah, it's early, but I'm doing the laundries at the same time, so I'm doing what I must. When this is over, I'll just finish it. Mm. I got you. I got you on a string. And no, it's not his slave. All right, guys, just to let you know. Mm. Mm. Yeah, the Godsmack song, I'll shut it off when we get to that because I don't want to get a copyright infringement. The I Stand Alone. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The score is good too. I like the score in the film. Who did the score? It doesn't say. Let me just see who did the score. Hmm. I know it wasn't James Horner this time. Uh, Cast harlots, yeah, harlot and harem women, and women of different shades and colors. John Debney did the music. Let's see what else he's done. Nobody, there's no chat, so I'm fine. He did go down. He was nominated for an Oscar, yeah. He did The Greatest Showman, The Jungle Book remake, The Passion, Iron Man 2, The Mighty Ducks TV show, Hocus Pocus 2, but that was disappointing. The Orville, Luck, Clifford the Big Red Dog. He's done some good music. Jingle Jangle, yeah. He does some memorable scores. This is like the battle in The Mummy Returns, except it's way more practical. I like seeing what's on screen. I don't want to see just a bunch of computer effects, fighting each other. I could see that in a Marvel movie. There's the Sandstorm. Again, this looks like that bad Mummy remake with Tom Cruise. That's probably the worst movie he's done in the past 10 years. And it's not his fault either. He didn't write or direct it. Even Steven Sommers was done after Mummy 2. We're 41 minutes in, and I'm not bored at all. Mm-hmm. Let me eat an apple. Not an apple. Or a tiger. Yup, quicksand. Go around it. Mm-hmm. I don't like sand. It's coarse, it's rough, and it gets everywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm not an angry person all the time. It's just people like to trigger my buttons. If you want to live. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Decapitation. Mm-hmm. There's some blood in the movie, yeah. Still PG-13. While this is not as violent as 300, it still gets the job done. Mhm. I can shut this off for now. It's warm in here. I'm not done yet. We still got another, I believe, 45 minutes. It's a good score. They stabbed. No, he's not. They stabbed him with an arrow that has black scorpion poison. That's why they call him the Scorpion King. Yeah. This is a lot more relaxing. Just doing a podcast, no distractions from the chat, no freaking violations. Because my God, if Naya did a movie like this and show her gorgeous body, I'm like, yeah, I would lose it. Yeah, I know that. Mm-hmm. And that's not a good thing because the neurotoxins they have are deadly. Oh yeah, ride 'em, cowboy. Ah. Mm, mm. Her mouth is glowing. Yeah, see, that scene was over. It's short. The scenes don't drag on for 5 or 10 minutes, except for the action scenes. We get that. No, don't do it. Don't do it. If his knee is better. Saw a hawk. It's a good bird. It's real. That's what I like to see: real animals, real people, real sets, people, not just look at James Cameron. Look how much CGI you can use. I don't care, James Cameron. You don't make films anymore. You make video game cutscenes. Every time you do a film now, it looks too digital. Even Titanic had real people on the boat, at the very least. Yeah, I know. See, he can predict the future, and he's not a psychic. Because in Twilight, Peter Facinelli looks like he's in pain, like he's pale as a ghost, and he just doesn't want to be there. Definitely. See, he has personality. I miss that in films when people from other countries had personality. You know, they're energetic and they're nice and they're actually friendly. They're not assholes to each other. Sodium, yeah. Yeah. You need it. Without it, your body would dry up. Oh, you beautiful, beautiful creature. He jumped. You know, it's like the Harry Potter movies. There's a lot of likable actors in those movies, and the um, Fantastic Beasts films as well. It's an oasis. Hmm. I really could use a jacuzzi right now. I want to feel some warm water on my body. You know, sucking all my stress away. I haven't been in a jacuzzi in a couple years since I think I went in 2021. Yeah. Hmm. But not last year because I went to Six Flags and there was no jacuzzis there. That kid, he's a good kid. He's a good kid. And even Michael Clark Duncan, even though he doesn't show up again until like near the end, he kicks some ass in the third act. There he is. I miss him a lot, man. Dark skinned woman. The woman, yep. I get why. Hell yeah. He stood up for her. Yep. That's the most romantic gesture a man can do. Stand up for his woman. Never put them down. Stand in front of them and just say, I'm going to take a bullet for you, lady. That's what I would do. Anyone touches her, you have to go through me. That's why yeah, they break their swords. Yeah, that's why he wins her over by doing that one gesture. It's a pretty brutal fight between him and The Rock, and it's in the daytime, so you can see it. It's not a DC movie where half the times they're shot in the dark and I can't see what's going on. You don't have to make a Batman movie in the dark, guys. You can put some lights in the movie. You can afford special effects. You can afford lighting. Even The Dark Knight Rises had a scene outside that was, in the daytime, them fighting. So, it's a very physical fight. Yeah. Hmm. I'm really enjoying this. I hadn't watched the movie since last year, but it's very, very entertaining. Chicken, get out of the way, chicken. It's sad when a movie over 20 years ago is better than a lot of movies that we have today. Nowadays, this movie would be on the Sci-Fi Channel and have like a budget of $5 compared to something like this a multi-million-dollar franchise that looks good. It looks like an actual film. He actually did hurt Michael Clark Duncan. I think he punched him in the face too hard. Mm-hmm. Yes, he will. Cute. But she's having a vision. It's like the vision that Tony Stark had in Age of Ultron when Wanda was messing with his mind. So fire arrows. A donkey, so Nye has that sweet face too. And you know how crazy I am about her, Josh. Age be damned, because once you're legal, I'm in the ball game. And heterosexual, not this queer cisgender bullshit. No, the real deal. I'm ready. He touches her face. Yeah, touch it. Mm-hmm. Ah, yep, touches that beautiful, beautiful face. An interracial kiss, and the movie wasn't canceled. Say it isn't so. Yeah, it's a black American Samoan man kissing an Asian woman, and they did the deed, and she still has that gorgeous rocking body. Again, guys, heterosexuality lives; it will live forever. Kelly, who, if I meet you at Comic Con, I'm just gonna say you are absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna say that because I'm like I hide nothing. Women like being around me at Comic-Con. You'd be surprised. Because 2019, I met Amy Jo Johnson. I was floored. And then last year, I met Rachel Lee Cook, and I'm like, yeah, she's just as beautiful now as she was when she was a teenage girl in I think she was like 19 or something when she did She's All That. Yeah, she was really young, had that cute little face, and she still has that cute little face. Now we're in the third act of the film. Mostly the battle is at night, but you can see what's going on. Beautiful dark braids. It's 10 o'clock already. Two black women in bed. See? And it's not gratuitous. This is like The Woman King. Remember, The Woman King was PG-13, I think, and it has Viola Davis. Yeah, I might see it, but not right now. I don't want to see Bayanga right now. I don't want to get my stomach soured after the month I've had so far. And this movie's not terrible like freaking Battlefield Earth. That movie's horrible. And it's almost 2 hours. And I don't know why. That movie should have been an hour and 45 minutes. Because it's just John Travolta overacting and his ego is a mile long in that movie. That's why he, financed the movie himself mostly. Yeah. Oh, that ain't that the truth. When you see Batman's symbol on fire, you know he means business. Did you see The Dark Knight Rises? Yeah. That's a great scene. Yeah, it's taken from The Crow, but it's a cool scene. People complain that they call that the worst movie in the franchise. I'm like, but it has some moments of brilliance, even though it's too long. It's way too long. I'm gonna do that movie in the summer. Kelly, who you're just you and Maggie Q. I can't hold myself. This is like Lord of the Rings to Two Towers, except the movie's like 2 hours shorter. Watch, he punches him out. Boom! Gotcha. Yep, see? Even the kid has something to do in the movie. That's the thing. These characters are called active. Yeah, that's how what you do in a movie. Rogue One, Solo, freaking The Force Awakens. You use your characters. Yeah, use them. Don't let them sit on the sidelines and look at and stare at a window or out a ship or something. Do something. Even if it's one thing, make it memorable. People will remember you for the things you did, not the things that come out of your mouth all the time. Actions speak louder than words. That's why you see my face doing things, because I'm like, I see a woman and just I can't just be like, yay. I'm not the goth girl from the Loud House. I feel things. Mm. And it's surprisingly how little CGI in this is in this movie, because in Mummy Returns is way too much. It's like a CGI orgy in the desert back in 2000, and that was in 2001. I, yep, I thought he was gonna kiss him. Like, no, he stabs him. He pulls a Brutus. He stabs him right in front of everybody. That camel's a really good actor too. It's an animal actor, and it really does a lot because it's a well trained animal, and it doesn't have stupid fart jokes like a kid in Aladdin's palace. There's too much childish humor in that. And there's the kid again. It is like the Woman King. It kind of is, yeah. Except there's a mix of other races besides people that are black, because you have Middle Eastern, Indian, white people. You have Asians. You have a lot of variety. See, variety can be the spice of life if it's not forced. She is a woman. This is the snake scene, which is not that bad. It's not cringe like the Scorpion King scene at the end of The Mummy Returns. That movie, I saw that effect in the Nostalgia Critics review. I'm like, oh my god, that effect still looks like shit. I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they couldn't get The Rock to look right. They might as well have just come out in a human form. Why does he have a scorpion body and a CGI face? It looks like clay. It looks terrible. I've seen stop motion effects from over 70 years ago that look better than that. Yes, I did, guys. I saw the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms was a stop motion puppet, like a a model, and it looks better than the Scorpion King from The Mummy Returns. And it was not CGI. It looks way better because the way it moves, it looks real. It doesn't look like a bad cutscene from a PS1 game or a GameCube game. Ooh, here comes a snake. Yeah. There it is. It's a CGI Cobra. It's not that bad. Some of the early CG in the beginning of the movie looks a little dated. The ants, but I can forgive it because it's not. It's a short scene. It's not 10 minutes of of dated effects. Cobra retreat. Because nowadays Disney's like, hey, we get brownie points because we made Ariel black, so everyone's gonna go see it. I'm not, because the movie's gonna be 2.5 hours. That's not the problem. It's just Disney's trying to make a point. I'm like, yeah, you and Universal need to get your heads examined. Stop making these forced diversity hires and making your movies too long. This movie, 92 minutes. Without the end credits, about 88. It goes by real quick. It doesn't drag for 2.5 hours or 3 hours. Even the girls have something to do in this movie, which is more than I could say for nowadays, where they have to force gender politics down your throat. I'm like, we get it. Women are important. I live every day by that rule, but you don't have to force them in a movie. Ella Balanska is not a thing. Stop trying to make her a thing. Everything she touches turns to crap. Look at Charlie's Angels. Look at that Resident Evil show on Netflix. Look at that game that came out that she was recently in. She is not a thing. The girls in this movie are. They've had a long, lengthy career, especially Kelly Hu, Katie Albert, and a bunch of others, these gorgeous women. Yeah, they actually did something with their lives. They didn't make flop after flop after flop after flop. The fact that Lupita Nyong'o passed on that remake of Shawty's Angels just so she can do Black Panther 2 and Rise of Skywalker where she's in it for 5 minutes, yeah, that was just, she knew that it was going to be a turd. Nothing. See, it's a fight scene at night, and I can see who dies first. Yeah. Yeah, we miss you, Michael Clark Duncan. Rest in peace, man. I miss you a lot. I've did a lot of podcasts this year so far, and the last uh 4 years by myself, and there's a lot of actors that are no longer with us, but they're alive in my heart for always, man. When I cared about them. Actors, directors, writers, producers. Yeah. There's a snake. That still doesn't look as distracting. Uh, That effect is not as bad as The Mummy Returns. It's just not. It's dated, a little bit dated, but it's not that bad. That's a good stunt. While this is not as crazy as Knockoff, because that movie was underrated, I think it's better. But this movie's fun too. Well, it doesn't get his head because it's a PG-13, but he does kill him. Uh huh. You know, Valentine's Day is in 3 days. Yep, time to show my rock hard abs. It's a really good battle. It reminds me of the Two Towers. The battle in the when they're on the tower and they're fighting all those armies. It's really good stuff. And that was also PG-13. That's why there's not a lot of blood. The most violent movie was the third Hobbit movie. They did an R-rated cut with more violence. That's right, black women. Wakanda forever. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong film. I'll get to that if I can. It's amazing how much personality is in this movie for under 2 hours. There's the snakes again. They don't look that bad. I've seen the Sci-Fi Channel give worse effects than this, especially Ape versus Monster. One of the worst monster movies I've ever seen in my life. But it's not the worst movie I've ever seen in my life because I've seen 2012 Doomsday. That's the worst disaster thing I've had to sit through. It was so bad I destroyed the disc. I couldn't even look at it. Whoop. Looney Tunes. I got two swords now. And I must say, 2002 was a really good year for films. You had Spider-Man, The Scorpion King, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. You had Attack of the Clones. There was a lot of films I enjoyed that year. There were some bad films too, like Swept Away, but I didn't finish that movie. Mm. Yep, low blow, that works. These action sequences are still well done. And considering the films I sat through this year and the last 3 years in the pandemic, that's saying a lot. Some of the movies I sat through, even the fight scenes were laughable. Like that Captain Drake movie, it was so bad. But it's so bad it's good sometimes. I don't know. I just was laughing at how bad it was. That's a good stunt. Real fire too. It wasn't CGI. That's cool. He throws his awesome sword. Hmm. This movie really was perfect to see during for Black History Month. Because again, a lot of good performances from black folks in this movie. Really good. That's right. I'm gonna run in slow mo like a Zack Snyder movie. This was fun. I'm glad I shut the chat off because I needed it. I needed a break, guys. I had a very rough week. I thought this was gonna be smooth sailing. No snow. Granted, the weather was not as bad as last weekend, but still. Yep. See you in Twilight in a couple years, Peter Facinelli. And you got warrior women. These women are not just harlots and harems. They kick some ass too. Some of them. That's cool. See? Hey, I loved Wonder Woman. I just didn't like the ending. I think this ending's better. It's not a CGI fight at the end. It's two people fighting with real swords, flame swords. That's freaking awesome. That's cool. That's so cool. I haven't seen that since the machete that was on fire in Freddy versus Jason. When Jason's like they throw alcohol on him and they set him on fire. That's a cool scene when he's got a flame machete. That's one of the coolest scenes of the movie, and it didn't flop. Little Sims, you can see this when it's posted on YouTube in a few minutes. I miss movies like this, guys. I really do. Under 2 hours, fast pace, not too freaking boring. That was great. Hmm. Hey, he's a wrestler. He has the upper body strength of a titan. That's right. Yep, uppercut, baby. And don't you do a bad movie roast of this movie. This movie's awesome, Double Toasted. I love this movie. I really enjoyed this film. I saw it when I was 17. He cheated. He did a scar when he threw the ashes in Simba's face. Your Majesty. Mm, mm. Yep, he takes the arrow for her. Ah! Doesn't kill him though. They get him. They got him on the back. It doesn't have a downbeat ending because the Mummy Returns had a more downbeat ending than this. Kind of. It's a more of a bittersweet ending because while the villain dies, I mean, it's because of his girl's fault, and they didn't go through with Rachel Weisz's death. They should have kept her dead in that movie. They just bring her back for no reason. Here, they don't do that. When Stephen Brand gets the arrow, he dies. He stays dead. He doesn't come back in the sequels. Come on, Rock, get up. Right in the gut. Yep, he gets his bow and arrow now. Come on, Rock, get it out. Time to pose for the posters. That's why this movie was a huge hit. And it made The Rock, it started his blockbuster reign over the Hollywood for the next 20 years. Yep, here it comes. Here comes the classic line. Yep, not just bring it. That's what he was saying in 2002. Here it comes. An hour and 21 minutes in. Catch this. Yep. Bullseye right in the chest. Yep. Bye, Stephen Brand. Hey, look, there was an Anubis statue, just like in The Mummy Returns. And it doesn't have to do winks and nods to the mummy. Yep, he got burned. Incineration. Yep, your kingdom fell, Memnon. That's that was good. Still very, very iconic. There's the woman king right there. Right in front of a full moon. That's an awesome shot. They all bow to him because he killed a king of a kingdom, so he's the ruler now. It's like the ending of Aquaman. Yes. It's a good ending. Yep. Dun, 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 dun. There's the women. They're going to head to Themyscira now. 15 years later, we got Wonder Woman, a huge hit movie. At least we got that. So. Mm-hmm. And in our hearts, Michael Clark. Thank you. Thank you, Michael Clark Duncan. Thank you, man. Yeah, The Rock has got one of the most magical smiles you'll ever see. Fantastic. It's just those sparklers, yeah. I know. Yay! Interracial couples rule, especially this month. It's a good ending. See, short and sweet. You don't have to make a movie too long, guys. That's it. An hour and 24 minutes, so 25. That's it. I'm going to shut it off because I don't want to get a copyright infringement. Thanks for watching. The few of you guys that did, I'm glad I shut the chat off. It was a good decision. I got to do this in peace and quiet, and man, that feels good to say after the week I've had with my brother. But anyway, thanks for watching. My next podcast will be in 2 days. I need a break. I'm not doing one tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not doing a movie podcast. I might do the Full House Super Bowl episode, but that is it. That's 22 minutes. No film commentaries tomorrow. I need a little break. So thanks for watching. Take care. And if you haven't seen this movie, what are you waiting for? There's a lot of streaming services that you can watch it on. It's very underrated, very fun sword and sandal action film. Thanks for watching. Take care and see you in the next one. That was fun.